Shalom, Israel. First of all, I want to say call the Hoya, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rahakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and prophets, and no respect to the brothers teaching truth all over the globe, and to the hopeful that are scattered throughout the four corners of the globe, to confusion, faith, which join unto our ranks, and to the Akim and Aquas that are listening and learning to you, I said Shalom. I'm coming back at you with another lesson. You know, the title of this lesson is going to be the U.S., Israel, and Iran. And the reason why I title it as such is because I was on the internet yesterday, and by me being on the internet, I found this article coming from the internet. You know, this article, basically going in. And I'm going to go read what it said. It said, Israel will be destroyed in a half an hour if America attacks Iran. And I want you to listen to that again. It reads, Israel will be destroyed in a half an hour if America attacks Iran. And you already know, for those who are just waking up to the truth, that Iran has a hatred towards Israel. And Israel has a hatred towards Iran. When it's talking about Israel, it's talking about those fake Khazars that are over there in our land. According to Revelation 2:9-3:9, they said they are Jews, but they're not, but they are the synagogue of Satan. But, Iran has a hatred towards Israel. And Iran, for the longest, want to wipe Israel off the face of the map. Iran never accept those Khazars over there as being the real Jews. They never accept them as, the people of the Most High. And Iran been wanting to nuke Israel for a very long time. And you're seeing the tensions that are growing over there in the Middle East. And Iran especially have a hatred towards the United States of America. Iran and America wants to go to war with Iran because of the fact of the matter is that America wants that oil over there in the Strait of Hormuz. They want to have control. They want to put the IMF bank over there in Iran. They also want their oil that is over there, over in the Strait of Hormuz. They want that port, so that way they can get that oil and stuff. And it's hot over there, and the war is picking up. And to get a quick scripture, go ahead and get Matthew the 24th chapter. Very familiar scripture that it's being brought out, but it's going to have to be brought out again because it's prevalent to to this lesson. It says, read Matthew 24 chapter and 6th verse. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right, you hearing about all these wars that are going on. And rumors of wars, you got the intensifying of, the U.S. and Iran. It's picking up, man. And Iranians say if the U.S. attacked them in 30 minutes, they're going to destroy Israel in a half an hour. But these going back to those wars and rumors of wars, and things are really picking up right now at the end time. But all these things going to happen, but the end is not yet because it's other events that's going to have to take place before the World War III kicks off. You have you're gonna have the famine of the word. I believe it's in Amos 8 and 11. You're gonna have the famine of the word. You're gonna have to have Jacob's trouble. That's in Jeremiah 30 and 7. And you're gonna have to have the mark of the beast being institutionalized. That's in Revelation, chapter 13, around like 16 through 18. Somewhere off in there. And you have the you're gonna have the nuclear war. You can read that in You know, you got Zechariah 14 and 12. You got let's see, you got you got it's a lot of scripture dealing with the nuclear missiles, but it's starting to slip my mind right now. But it probably will come back if y'all willing. But getting back on point, you got wars and rumors of wars, but the end of it not yet, cause a lot of the things I just said it's gonna have to come to pass. You're gonna have to follow the economic, fall of economy. You got stores are closing. You read that in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, around verse 3 through 7. It's all about the windows being darkened. You having that going on. You got all these things going on before this war kicks off. Verse 7 it reads, "For the nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And you seeing all this stuff going on now. You got nation rise against nation. You got America going against Iran, and you got Israel in the middle of it. In the middle of why? Because the scripture said the least of the flock is going to draw them out. The Israel is going to be the one that is putting America in this war. Why? Because Israel and the United States, they got strong ties with each other. If Israel go to war, they know that the United States is backing them up. And then if Iran go to war, Iran know that Russia and China and all the other countries going to back them up. So you got it. So these things in the Middle East are intensifying, and it's going to lead up to this World War III, and to bring it out of, in the World War III is going to be in the Valley of Jehoshaphat. If I'm going to go and put it up, it's in the book of Joel chapter 3. Chapter 3, verse 1. It reads, "For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, and I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, for whom they have scattered among the nations, and they have parted my land. And they have cast a lot for my people, and they have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink." And that third verse is talking about, slavery. They had us offering, our forefathers offering auctions. They would be giving them to the highest bidder. But the point is in the second verse that the Most High is going to bring these other nations down to the Valley of Jehoshaphat. And what is the Valley of Jehoshaphat is? That's in the Middle East, over there where Syria is at. That whole region. They're gonna, Most High is bringing all the nations down there, to judge them. According to, Joel 3 and 2, when he's talking about plea, he's not talking about, begging. He's talking about he's gonna rain down his judgment upon these other nations, man, because of what they have did to Israel, according to Psalms the 83rd chapter, 1 through 8. They all had a part in our slavery and our downfall, even though that we ourselves, we sinned and we went against the Most High. But, but they played a hand in our slavery. Every nation, all the 17 nations, they benefit off our slavery. You can if you understand the parable of rich man and Lazarus, the rich man's Esau Edom. They benefit off of it. And it reads, when it said the other nation came and lit, the dogs came and lit the swords on Lazarus, that's the other nation. The other nation, basically took everything else what we have, and they pretty much left us destitute. The Lazarus represents the Israelites. But, getting back on point, the Most High is going to bring back, going to bring the other nation down to Jehoshaphat, and he's going to plead with them, man. And in time of plea, he's going to judge them there, because of what they have did to the Most High, to his chosen people, Israel. And I'm going to go ahead and read this article real quick, and then bring out a couple of scriptures, and I pray that this lesson is edifying. And I wrote it down. If you want to read it, you can go to Google and you could put in, and you just put in, Israel will be destroyed in a half hour if America attacks Iran. You know, and that article should pop up. And the article also came out yesterday around 7:41 in the morning. You know, it reads, Israel will be destroyed in a half hour if the United States attack Iran, a senior Iranian parliamentarian said on Monday, according to the semi-official American news agency. You know, it reads, Weeks attention culminated last month if the U.S. President Donald Trump last-minute decision to call off planned strikes on Iran after two ran down a U.S. drone. You know, right? You know, you heard, if you read the news, you heard about the news that Iranians shot down a U.S. drone. It was an unmanned drone that they had shot down because I believe it invaded Iranian airspace. You know, and they shot it down. You know, they probably figured that it was hostile, so they ended up shooting it down. And also, when the U.S. Shot down one of the planes over there, Iran, which it killed, 290 people, and it also killed about 60-something children. The U.S. didn't apologize for that. And Iran didn't even go to war over that. But you got Iran that shot down a U.S. drone, and U.S. want to send troops in harm's way to fight Iran over an unmanned drone, which don't really make sense. But, it's neither here nor there. And it reads, Washington also accused Iran of being behind attacks on ships in the Gulf, which Tehran denies. Right. U.S. accused Iran on putting mines on that on one of them oil ships over there. It was somewhere close to our on the shores. I can't think of it. It's not straight of Hormuz, but it was in another place where that one of the tankers got blown up at, and Iran sent some troops down there to rescue the people that was on that ship. And U.S. line said Iran put Iran was the one that put mines on the ship and caused it to blow up. But Esau even lies is being exposed every day, and they already know the reason why the U.S. is doing it. They doing it so that way they could stage a coup against Iran, so that way they could get them justifiable reasons to go over into Iran and to have war, so that way they could they could sell for puppet lead over there, and they could take their resources. Iran already know what the game is about. They already know what it's about. They already know how the U.S. operate. They know how they roll. So guess what they doing? They already know that. Even you had the Japanese, which is the Ammonite. Ammonite is Japanese. Yeah, the Ammonite. Basically came out and said U.S. lying on them reports anyway. And, it is what it is, because you see Ecclesiastes 10:8. It says about I'm gonna get that real quick. The book, and this is what United States is all about. Prosperity, how about Shema Al-Shai, turn straight to the page. But Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 8, it reads, because of righteous dealings, injuries and riches got by the sea. The kingdom is translated from one people to another, and that's what happened. United States always got where it has by rape, robbery, murder. By deceit, man, by lies, by putting up, unrighteous decrees. That's the reason why United States got everything what they had. Also because they got free labor off our forefathers, and our forefather was the one that even built this country up. They made our forefathers build this country up for free. And they know they know all stuff that they have done. They always been lies because let me get us another scripture. Psalms 58 chapter start at verse 3. And this is how United States are. And this side, so-called white man is. It reads, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Their poison is like the poison of a serpent. They are they are like the deaf adder that stoppeth her ear, which will not hearken to the voice of charmers. Charmers never so wisely. They going straight from the womb. They speaking lies. Their scripture said, Esau even speak lies from the womb, man. He come from the womb, he already speaking lies. It is what it is. In the United States is treading on dangerous territory right now. They feel that they can stage this coup against Iran so that way they can go in there and try to take down Iran, trying to take them down and take their resources. But they they not knowing, or they do know that Russia it has their back. Russia is allies with Iran, per se. And all these other nations, they're gonna come up against America and put a scripture about Russia as being a guard to Iran. I'm gonna get Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 7. It reads, "But be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." Russia is a guard unto, all the other nations, man. Russia and China is a guard to all the other nations like North Korea, like Syria, Iran. All these other nations, they are a guard to them. They're going to protect them. If Iran if Iran goes to war, Russia is going to have their back. China's going to have their back. All the other nations are going to have their back because all of them, they hate Israel and they hate the United States. They are tired of the bullying tactics of Israel and the United States, and Israel is the one that's is bringing the United States into this war. Like I said before, the scripture said the least of the flock is going to draw them out. Israel is drawing out the United States and dragging them into this war against these other nations, and these other nations understand what's going on. Even got the allies over there over there with the United States, even they starting to dislike America. And this scripture is fulfilling itself, and I'm going to bring this out real quick, and this been brought out a lot too. Revelation chapter 17, verse 16, it reads, "And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For Yahweh had put in their heart to fulfill his will and to agree, and give their kingdom unto the beast, unto the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled." And you're seeing that little by little. You got the other nation, they are putting out the petrodollar. They are talking about going back to the gold and silver standard, as it's supposed to have been at the beginning anyway. And all the other nations, they are outsmarting America, man. And that's what they are doing. And they know that they not only outsmart America, they know they are outsmarting Israel as well. Them fake Jews over there. America, I'm saying like this: United States is getting desperate. They are getting desperate, and Esau Edom know that his economy is falling. Not only Esau Edom, but the Amalekites over there. Them fake Jews over there. They know they're in trouble too. And that's why I titled this lesson, U.S., Israel, and Iran, because these nations, they're going against one another. It's gonna be a matter of time. It's gonna be a matter of time before. And this is just me speaking as a man. I believe it's gonna be a matter of time where Iran is gonna nuke out Israel. And this is just me talking as a man. Cause tension is very high over there, and Iran been wanting to nuke Israel for the longest. And I'm go ahead and read the last little bit of this article. It reads, "If the U.S. attack you if the U.S. attack us, only half an hour will remain of Israel lifespan. It was Mustafa Zulunor, the chairman of the Iranian Parliament National Security and Foreign Policy Commission, said on Monday, according to America. According to the report. That if U.S. attacked them, he said only half an hour will Israel lifespan gonna remain. They let you know that it's intensifying over there. Iran is making it very clear that the U.S. attacked them, they're gonna wipe out Israel, and it's a judgment of Yahweh Shem Shah, because Yahweh Shem Shah is going to get those fake Jews out of our land. And also the Ishmaelites, they're going to get wiped out too, because Israel and the Ishmaelites over there, the fake Jews and the Ishmaelites over there, they fighting over land that it don't even belong to either one of them anyway. That's our land that the Most High gave us through the promises of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Their land did not belong to them anyway. And Iran been wanting to wipe out Israel. They been wanting to wipe out those fake Jews over there, because Iran knows that they're not the real Jews. They know that they're not. And also fulfilling those scriptures, it said, if Satan cast out Satan, how shall the kingdom stand? His kingdom should not stand, but it has an end. Roughly paraphrasing, we're seeing the end of Esau's kingdom, and it's gonna come to a point that they're going to be very desperate to bring on this RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. They already trying to push this chip now. They already trying to push this chip because they know that they losing their grip. And they knowing that the other nations are ditching the petrodollar, and they going back to the silver and gold standard. They're going back to the silver and gold standard, man. And the U.S. hate that, because it causing their petrodollar to fail. It caused them to lose the grip on society. And so now, they're going to be in a desperate attempt to trying to chip everybody, so that way they can get their control back. But Yahweh Shem Shah is not going to allow that to happen. When America goes to war, over there in the Middle East, and that's going to be the downfall of the United States. That's really going to be the downfall, and the biggest downfall the United States is going to have when they go after the men of Yahweh Shem Shah. And that's when Scripture says that when the enemy comes in like a flood, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah is going to lift up a stand against them. And who come in like a flood is going to be them martial law troops, man. They're going to come in like a flood, but Yahweh Shem Shah going to lift up a stand against them. And I pray that this lesson will edify, and, keep an eye out over there in the Middle East, because you seeing the tensions are going higher and higher, from the U.S., Israel, and Iran, but also the other nations as well. But you're seeing it really intensifying between Israel and Iran. So stay vigilant, to my Akim and Akwat out there, you stay vigilant, the scripture say, we always should watch and pray, watch as well as pray. We should watch, what's going on around us, and pray that Yahweh Shem Shah bring all this to an end, so that way we can get the kingdom back. Because 2nd Ezra 69 say Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of their father. With Esau, Edom's kingdom is coming to an end, but our kingdom is next. The kingdom of heaven. And the scripture also say the kingdom of heaven suffered violence, and violence taken by force. The kingdom is going to be taken by force, because Esau, Edom is not going to go down without a fight. He's not going to just give the kingdom to Jacob. Yahushua is going to come back with his angel. He's going to take the kingdom from him, and that's what Yahweh wants. He wants them to fight, so he can give them justified reasons to destroy them. That's it for the lesson. I pray that this lesson will edify. I want to say, Kol Ahoya, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rahakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and prophets. Another respect to the brothers teach the truth all over the globe. Until next time, Yahweh willing, Shalom, and a Baba Ball, and Shabbat Shalom.